Good evening, everyone. It is July, summer 2021, and welcome to the 10-day challenge. So we've got a good crew here in the background. You can't see them. I know they're there. But we're going to talk about a couple different things tonight. But first, I want to congratulate you for taking this this journey again. So a couple things I want you to think about. You know, your wellness journey is going to kind of begin today. I know a lot of you are already eating well, but this is always a good time to kind of clean up. I know what happens over the holidays. I see it. I see what you put on Facebook. I see all those kind of things. So, and you, for me, you know, holidays are about food and family, and that is super important. So when food and family is involved, you know, step off the wagon a little bit. Just make sure you get back on the wagon. So here's some challenges I want you to kind of work on this next 10 days. And then I'd like for you to continue these challenges as well. So number one, I want you to continue following the eating guidelines that you have in your book. So I want to focus on whole, unprocessed foods. So that focus should be on whole, unprocessed foods like vegetables, some fruits, and some lean protein. Remember, I'm careful about the fruits in your diet, especially if you're on a weight management program. If you want to lose a few pounds, we want to watch that fruit because fruit is good, but it is fructose, and fructose is another form of sugar. So we want to avoid refined carbohydrates. I know you've had enough of them. If you had a hot dog over the 4th of July or a hamburger, you had refined carbohydrates in the form of ketchup, in the form of the bun, in the form of the hot dog, and whatever else you put on that. Relish is sugar in it. So we have a lot of those things happening when we eat foods for the holiday. Artificial sugar, sweeteners, your sugars, your chemical additives, your processed meats, your fried foods, your caffeine, and your soft drinks. So you want to drink your supplement shakes with whole food ingredients. So for us, we like to take things like kale and spinach when they're to the point where we're not going to eat them for a salad. We toss the bag in the freezer and then just break off a handful of that and put it in your shake. You're going to take a simple protocol of supplementation throughout the day, and in 10 days, you can lose 10 pounds, and that's your challenge. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get started. So first thing you need to do, look at your kitchen. You need to clean out those foods that are not on your food list. Remove any foods that are high in refined carbohydrates, some fats and sugars. You want to stock your pantry for shopping for your shop for your vegetables. I like to do kind of daily shopping. Protein and fruit and other items on your food list that's in the book. Be prepared for a few days worth of meals on hand. And I say that because for me, I've done this for so many times. My taste buds have just changed over the period of time. I like certain things. Like the first time I did it, I think I've said this before. I fell in love with collards. I ate so many collards that I really don't want to touch another collard again. Now I try to kind of spread them out now, and then make some simple lifestyle changes. Get more sleep and don't sit for long periods of time. Try to get 10,000 steps in a day. Be more active. These are all the components of being healthy and for longevity. Nobody on the video, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but none of us are spring chickens. So at this point, we really want to focus on healthy aging and longevity, not really anti-aging, but definitely healthy aging. And these are the ways that we do this. So to be a really success on this journey, so you want to eat frequently throughout the day to help maintain that blood sugar level, especially if this is new to you. Some of my gang here on the class already have done this. You're doing some intermittent fasting. You can continue to do that. But if this is new, a dietary change for you, go ahead and plan on having some frequent meals. That'll keep your blood sugar level till your body levels back out. My number one rule, eat twice as many vegetables as fruit. So if you have an apple, then you better have 2 heads of broccoli. And I really would prefer that if you're going to use any fruit, it should only go in your shake, because it's too easy to grab a handful of grapes and when you get to your desk or get to wherever you are and the grapes have magically disappeared and you go get more. Well, remember, the fruit has a lot of sugar in it. And I want you to be mindful that it is good for you. It does have good fiber in it, but it is fructose, which is sugar, a form of sugar. So we want to do vegetables because they're very fiber rich and nutrition dense, and more whole foods. So like when you go to Publix or wherever you shop and you pick up a head of broccoli, There is no label on it other than saying it's broccoli and it's item code for them to scan, because we know it's broccoli. But if you pick up something that is made, has broccoli in it, or a broccoli like food, it will have all the ingredients in there. I want to see no ingredients other than the one. You can add a mixed green salad with your lunch and dinner. That's what I had for dinner tonight. So I eat a lighter dinner at night. So I just had a big vegetable with avocado, and I have some Vidalia onions and some nice garlic vinaigrette. So try some different veggies. If you've not tried something before, try it now. I like to do a variety of color, rainbow of the vegetable, soiree. You've got all things you can choose from, especially now that's summertime. We have everything at our hands that we want to try. So, make sure you try some different things. Drink your water. Rule of thumb for what I say to do is to divide your body weight in half, and that's an approximate number of ounces of water you should drink. So I weigh 130 pounds, so half of 130 would be the number of ounces I would drink, 65 ounces a day. Don't have to stick to that, that. Oh, and I wanted to show you, this is our patriotic lighting. This is Marianne's wonder. She did this. We had it set up for Pride Month, so I thought you'd like to see that. It's 4th of July. I gotta celebrate somehow. All right, let's get to business here. So we do this in part because of all the exposed toxins we are inundated with. And from the time you get up in the morning, the time you put your feet on the ground and you go into the bathroom and you brush your teeth, the toothpaste you use, the soap you use on your face, the body lotions you use, the soap in the shower, the hair shampoo, all those things have toxins in them. I mean, we have slowly kind of over the period of time gotten all the toxins out of our bathrooms, in the household, but we still have some things that we use, but we use them sparingly. So our body is so amusing. I always say it has more. Sorry, amusing. Some of you are amusing. Your body is amazing. And we have more wiring than the space shuttle, but we drive it around like a garbage truck. We put crappy food in it, we bang it around, then we get mad when it breaks down on us. So I kind of think of my body as a borrowed temple, and I want to return it in good repair. So when we eat something, it is a choice. So everything you put in your mouth is a choice. And I say that whatever you put in your mouth is either an act of nutrition or an act of suicide. So that is your choice. So make the right choices. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to see what choices you can make and have fun doing it. All right. So metabolic detoxification is kind of what we're going to be doing here. And the detox is, it's something that we've done probably for the past 15 years in the practice, but our body has a natural detoxification plan. So when we look at our body and the foods we eat, our body can process those toxins and get them out. We just were never meant to handle as much as we have. We have 3 phases. We have a phase that kind of unlocks the toxins. We have a phase that neutralizes the toxins, and then we have one that eliminates. So your SP cleanse is what is primary to do that. And if you're doing the SP detox balance, all the goods are built into the shake. So here's our endogenous toxins are like carbon dioxide, ammonia, free radicals, and then exogenous toxins are like the heavy metals, our personal care products, dyes and paints, cigarette smoke, household cleaning products, preservatives, additives, the pollutants, and the pesticides and insecticides. So that's a lot of stuff that sometimes we can't control. And when I go out in the morning and ride my bike, if I ride by a house and I can smell the cigarette smoke, I'm breathing it in. So anything you smell, you're breathing in. If you're in a car, you smell exhaust, you're breathing that in. If you go to a new building or a new property and they have fresh carpet down, carpet has formaldehyde in it, you're breathing that in. So we don't do it on purpose. We're just exposed to it. So we've got to figure out a way to clean that up. And that's why we do these 10 days periodically throughout the year. So they're everywhere. We have 80,000 chemicals that are registered for use by the FDA. 800 million pounds of herbicides are used every year. And there are 167 industrial chemicals that are found in people that are not even in that related environment or workplace to be exposed to those. So they're in the foods that we eat, like glyphosate, that is Roundup. It is now, they tell the wheat farmers, if you spray your wheat with Roundup, it kills it, and that way it won't mold. But we're eating that. And if they give cows foods that are genetically modified and you eat that cow or you eat that chicken or that chicken egg, you are what they ate. And now I go into that in full detail when we talk about that in the 21-day program in January, but we'll just touch on it a little bit here. And those toxins contribute to a lot of things: fatigue, difficulty sleeping, indigestion, food cravings, reduced mental clarity, low libido, skin issues, and even joint discomfort. So we've got 3 programs. Some of you are doing blood sugar, some of you are doing inflammation, and some are doing immune system. Well, we're doing a little bit different. I was going to do an immune system, but we're doing the detox balance. And I think Barry's the only one doing that. So he knows. So we're going to really cover the blood sugar and the inflammation. So SP Complete is one that we used to use. Some people still use it, but now I'm letting you use Veggie Pro chocolate or vanilla. And it's essential for your whole food nutrition. It's plant-based. I like it because of it's yellow pea, pumpkin seed, and sesame seed protein. It supports your intestinal, muscular, and immune health. It's an antioxidant, healthy liver function, and also helps to eliminate toxins. But it also is something you can use. I mean, we do them every day. I do at least one shake every day, and that's part of my way to get my protein as a plant-based form. And I'll talk more about that down the road here. You have to put up with this. I know some of you have seen this before. These are all the things that are in the SP Complete and the SP, the Veggie Pro. So alfalfa, I know, I think that's so funny. Okay, so SP Cleanse. So it combines 20 unique whole food and botanical ingredients. This SP Cleanse is super important because it really helps to support the liver, the kidney, and the gallbladder, helps to digestive function, and also helps to eliminate the normal toxins, and it promotes healthy elimination. So we have very key ingredients in that: juniper berry, red clover, apple pectin, burdock root, barley grass. We have let's see, we have Spanish black radish. Now, Spanish black radish is probably one of the most important things for detoxification, and it really is one of the whole food phytonutrients that we use to actually enhance that enzyme activity in the liver. Oregon grape root, for those of you that say that you can't have your wine on this, well, I'm giving you this kind of like wine. So all these have very, very important things. The fenugreek seed, which is what, after you've been on the SP Cleanse about 5 to 7 days, sometimes you'll smell it like in your armpits because it's starting to detox. It's starting to get things out of your body. But fenugreek seed is great for cholesterol metabolism. And gymnema, if you're on the blood sugar program, you're going to use gymnema, and it's an amazing an herb. And we use this herb because it works to maintain healthy, not only maintain healthy blood sugar levels, but it will also decrease your sugar cravings. So when I teach doctors, I always give them a gymnema tablet. I have them suck on that gymnema tablet, which kind of takes like a green tea maybe. And then I have them wash it down and swallow it with water. And then I give them a Hershey Kiss. I don't do that to you because I don't want to poison you. The doctors, they need to know. So when I give them the Hershey Kiss and they eat it, they can't taste the sugar in it. And it basically tastes like oily mud in their mouth. So it kind of ruins that sweet taste and that sweet craving that makes you addicted. So you can't just have one Hershey Kiss. You have to have a handful or a bag full or 2 bags full. So this gymnema is really amazing in helping to do that. So it's really good to use on the blood sugar program. Also, I have patients use it after. I tell them we have a big bottle to take half the bottle after the program and then put the other half up in the put it away. And the moment you get a sugar craving, bring them out and pop them in, maybe once or twice a day. And that'll kind of settle it back down. Diaplex is another thing you're going to be using. It's on the blood sugar program. Another amazing for helping to handle, for sugar handling, to maintain blood sugar levels and keep them within a normal range. So those of you that may be thinking about metformin as a better solution, the Diaplex is what we use to kind of help the body manage the blood sugar better. We had a discussion earlier today about metformin, and the problem with metformin, it causes the very thing that it's given for, and that's insulin resistance. So we don't want to be insulin resistant. That creates a whole other host of problems. So I like to do it by using whole foods, and let's do it as naturally as possible. That's why I use Standard Process. It's all whole food based. I mean, you're just not going to go eat a Spanish black radish. I can tell you that. So it has a lot of essential nutrients for carbohydrate metabolism, to support your function of your pancreas, your bowel function, your gallbladder function, and it's got some key ingredients for a digestive enzyme. For beta-col is beets, so that's great for the gallbladder. Pituitary is great for the pituitary. To support the pituitary, and then some pancreatic PMG as well, protomorphogen. So if you're on the blood sugar program, this is your schedule here. So we want to make sure that we don't do too much of this, but this is exactly what I want you to do. So you can have up to 3 shakes a day. If you don't want to do 3, you don't have to do 3. I recommend at least 1 to 2 a day. I always do 1 a day. I've just done them for so many years and I don't ever get hungry. So 1 is enough for me. If you're doing the Veggie Pro, it'll be 4 scoops per shake. It's a lighter powder, so different than the SP Complete. So the Veggie Pro will be 4 scoops per shake. The SP Cleanse, 5 capsules 3 times a day. Diaplex is 5 capsules 3 times a day. And the Gymnema is 2 tablets in the morning, 1 at lunch, and 1 tablet at dinner. I would recommend for you to get those set up for the day so that you aren't scrambling to have them. Take your morning ones when you're at home. Take your other ones at lunchtime with you to work or school, and then take your dinner ones when you get home at night. And then let's talk about the inflammation program. So you're going to be using the SP Cleanse and the Veggie Pro as well, but you'll be using the Cyruta Plus, and that helps with the capillary integrity and its function. Also helps with circulatory cholesterol transport. Remember, the cholesterol is brought up in our bloodstream, and the LDL has to rise to meet that need to carry that away. So that's really a crucial part of that. It supports your healthy cellular glucose to maintain the good blood sugar levels instead of making them go up and down. And it supports the peripheral circulation as well as maintaining your capillary walls. So boswellia is one of the other products we use has boswellia, celery seed, ginger, and turmeric. All these are very, very important in bringing down the inflammation in the body. Now, I do like to use turmeric forte. So once you do the program, I would switch you to turmeric forte because turmeric forte is it's probably one of the best formations that we have, but we use boswellia complex in the inflammation program because it has a couple other things that it does, and that's supporting the function of the kidneys, some health joint support, and some circulation support, as well as a little bit of antioxidant activity. And then black currant seed oil, it is one of your essential fatty acids, and it encourages the proper eicosanoid synthesis. It repairs your body tissue, helps normal blood flow, and helps to support a healthy immune system as well. You hear that word immune system a lot. This is the other reason why I do this program, and it's even more crucial, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes. So the inflammation program, if you're doing this one, the same thing, the SP Complete or the Veggie Pros. The Veggie Pro is 4 scoops per shake. If you're doing I don't think anybody's doing the SP Complete. And Barry, I know you know what to do for your the detox, the shake. It has all the supplements already built into it. So you already have your go-to what you need to do on that. So the SP Cleanse is 5 capsules 3 times a day. Boswellia is 1 tablet 3 times a day. Cyruta Plus, which is like a major packed multi, 3 tablets 3 times a day. And the black currant seed oil is 2 pearls 3 times a day. So immune, so we're talking about immune again, and I didn't think at this time of this year we would have to talk about that, but unfortunately we are. So the Immuplex is one thing that we use in the office a lot. We can take it daily for our healthy immune system. Helps to maintain that normal white blood cell activity, supports your normal inflammatory response. So if your body's inundated with a virus or a load, it can help manage that. If you have a big, heavy, you go out to dinner and you have a big steak and a baked potato with a bunch of butter on it, it's great for that. I use it for me as an athlete because of strenuous activity can also decrease your immune system and provides ingredients with antioxidant activity, but it's a great source of zinc, copper, chromium, folate, all your ABCs of your vitamins and selenium. So Thymax, I'm not going to really go into that because we're not doing the immune support. I just did that special last year. I don't think we need that, but we still need to support our immune system. All right, so the 10-day program food list. Page 15, vegetable serving size is a half a cup. Your target is 13 to 15 servings per day. If you are hungry after eating 13 to 15 servings per day of veggies, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you have a tapeworm. I'm not really sure, but that is, crucial for, keeping your body full of those nutrient-rich and fiber-dense foods. Starchy vegetables you can have, but we're going to limit those to 1 serving per day. Why would that be? Well, they're starchy, and when we think starch, we think sugar. So they're a little bit higher on the carbohydrates. And when we're doing both the 10-day inflammation and the 10-day blood sugar, as well as the metabolic detox, we still want to watch our carbohydrates because we're trying to let our body have a chance to heal because we are good at doing too many carbohydrates. On page 16, there's your fruit. Your serving size is half a cup to 3/4 of a cup, and I prefer you to use it only in your shakes. And you don't have to. I simply make my shake by using a blender bottle with a little metal ball in there, put my almond milk in, I put my powder in, shake it, and I'm good to go. I put ice in there on top of the powder, put my lid on because the ice keeps it from sticking to the top of the lid. If you're going to do a NutriBullet shake, still put your almond milk in or cashew milk. I'll let you have any of the nut milks if you're not allergic to them. Hemp milk, coconut milk, whatever you want. And it doesn't have added sugar. Put your milk in, about 6 to 8 ounces. And then I put your powders in. We like to put hemp seed, sesame seed. We put flax seed. And then we break off some kale or some frozen spinach and toss that in there. And maybe some blueberries. And then put the lid on it, shake it up, put it on that NutriBullet. You got a shake ready to go, and it's going to keep you full because it's so nutrient rich and fiber dense. Protein serving size is 3 ounces, 2 to 3 servings per day. I prefer that to be grass-fed, grass-finished, wild-caught, free range. You should be aware of all those things because we want them eating what they're supposed to eat. They're not supposed to eat genetically modified corn. They're supposed to eat the bugs and the grasses that are provided in nature. Miscellaneous servings are your 2 teaspoons or 3 to 4 servings per day. Those are your oils. And I want you using good oils like extra virgin olive oil, your butter, you can use like we use avocado oil and macadamia nut oil, coconut oil, as long as they're organic, as long as they're expeller pressed and they're not hydrogenated. So make sure you read the label. So if you have vegetable oil or you have canola oil, use it to kill weeds, give it to somebody you don't like, recycle your bottle. You're not going to use it anymore. Those are trans fats and they're terribly bad for you. So we want to get those out of your system. Beverages can be filtered mineral spring or water. So like I have Perrier with lemon. They have a cucumber one, which is amazing. Green tea, herb teas. I will let you have caffeine or coffee on this, but you can't use your fancy sugary creamers. You can sweeten it with either monk fruit or stevia or Truvia. And you can use organic whipping cream to put your milk in there. No coffee mate crapola or anything like that. I'm not allowed to use that anymore. You can, but it's your choice. Vegetables. So you've got on the page in your book, it has all the vegetables. If you can't find something to eat there, then we need to have a chat. Fruits, remember, we don't want to be careful of them because they are higher in sugar. So let's be mindful of that. And your lean meats, that. I just don't want you to do any processed meats like sausage and canned meats or cold cuts or frankfurters. And you can do some canned fish or canned chicken if you want. Try to get your fishes that are fatty fishes and wild caught. We use vitalchoice.com. And that's where we get a lot of our wild caught fish, our halibut, which is very expensive, but our crab legs and our salmon stuff. So keep those things in mind. You can have eggs as long as they're free range. We don't want cage free. Cage free just means they're in a big room running around. We want them free range, meaning they're outside running around in Dr. Sunshine, eating grass and bugs like they're supposed to. No sodas. I mean, I don't mind if you have a Perrier or some type of a seltzer water, as long as there's no sugar in it. No fruit juices, no Diet Cokes, no energy drinks, no sports drinks, no alcohol. I know that's going to be tough for some of you. No alcohol. Just give your body a break. It's just 10 days. I'm letting you have coffee. If you're going to do a coffee that's not caffeinated, make sure that you use a water filtered decaffeinated process. And you can find that any place. I think Publix even carries that, or Whole Foods. Look at your packaging and make sure that the can says BPA free. We don't want bisphenol A, which is um, it's an endocrine disruptor, so it causes damage, and it was one of those toxins that we're trying to get rid of. And if you have a food allergy, don't expect that you can eat everything when you're on this. If you have an allergy, you have an allergy. So be mindful of that. And here's all your good fats. I mean, avocado, chia seeds, coconut oil, coconut spread, coconut milk. I'll use the whole fat. I mean, that fat, we got so geared in that fat makes us fat. It's not the fat that makes us fat. It's the sugar that makes us fat. That's the only thing I want you to remember. Everything that I said tonight is it's the sugar that makes you fat. Flaxseed oil, ghee, grapeseed oil, high oleic safflower oil, extra virgin olive oil, your sesame oils, fresh nut spreads and nuts. You can have if you're going to do any nuts on the 10-day, you can have more seeds than nuts. I just want you to be careful because a lot of you are on kind of a weight management program too. And peanuts are going to be really inflammatory to the body as opposed to a cashew or a macadamia nut, which is my favorite. So this is what your plate should look like, so a lot of vegetables, a little bit of protein. And, for me, I get most of my protein is plant-based, and I get that through my Veggie Pro shake. And kind of a ballpark figure for everybody after we get done, we'll determine that at the end of the class. I'll give you some macros to kind of work with, but kind of work on this plane right here for your diet. All right, let's talk immune system. Okay, here's a story. Even if you've been vaccinated, I don't care if it's Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, you can still get COVID. There is now locally here in Mount Dora, the Delta variant is now available to us. Severe headache, no appetite, sometimes a sore throat, sometimes a little bit of a fever, but general malaise, can't pick your head up off the pillow. So you won't get as sick as somebody that hasn't had a vaccine, but you still can get that. And so I would like for you just to be mindful to wear a mask when you're around. I mean, we wear them at the office because if I go see my mom, I don't want to take something to her. I would be mortified. I don't want to expose anybody of my patients to somebody else that may not have the best health strategies. I know you all are here, and I know that you have those health strategies in mind. So I just want you to be aware of what your immune system does. And I want to just kind of briefly talk about it because I think it's super important that the foods we eat support our immune system. And if we're eating foods high in sugar, the sugar foods are the biggest factor in depressing the immune system. And people in the United States, 68% of the population is overweight or obese. That's the biggest comorbidity, diabetes being next, hypertension, and so on and so forth. So you may have these things now going on. So those are health strategies we want to correct. We want to install new health strategies for you. So our immune system is designed to detect a foreign invader, deflect it, and then destroy it. So it gives you a way to really handle these viruses when they come in. Whether it's a virus or you step on a nail outside or get something caught in your foot or your finger, the body still reacts. It detects, is it a friend or foe? It's a foe. We're going to deflect it. Now we're going to boost your immune system and destroy that mechanism. So we have an innate defense system. It's in our lymph nodes, it's in our lymph vessels, it's in our lymphocytes, it's in our bone marrow, it's in our white blood cells, it's our skin and our mucous membrane. And when I say skin and mucous membrane, your largest immune organ is your large intestine. So when we do these 10 days, we're really propagating the good bacteria in our systems. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but a sugar just destroys it and you're building up the bad guys, not the good guys. So our external barricade is the skin and the mucous membranes, so like if you smell something or, your nose gets runny and kind of creates a barrier. We have internal defenses like our phagocytes, our antimicrobial proteins, and our attack cells. We also have an arsenal of physical and chemical barriers. We have killer cells, and we have even a fever that keeps us healthy. Remember, when we get a fever, that's the body's way of protecting you. It's raising your temperature to kill the virus, because the virus can't withstand high temperatures. So what the normal people, not my group, not my tribe, but what the general population will do is, somebody gets a fever, let's make it convenient. Let's take something so we can go to work and get everybody else sick. When the very thing, then that person just stays sicker longer. Now, there's a point when, of course, a fever is lasting too long, and so on and so forth. That needs to be managed a different way. I'm talking about when you wake up and you know you got it. So this is, let that fever run its course. Even though it makes you miserable, it's doing its job. It's making you stay in that bed and sleep and rest and recover. So we have built-in defense systems. We have respiratory, we have digestive, we have urinary, and we have reproductive systems. All those are built in, and the foods that we eat are what support all these built-in defense systems. So we talk about acid from skin, stomach, and vaginal secretions, mucins that form in the mucus of our respiratory system and our digestive passages, enzymes in our saliva, our eyes. If you get something in your eye, automatically eye reacts and starts watering. Think about when you get something between your teeth, you don't let it sit there for a day. You're trying to get something to get it out of there. That's a whole defense mechanism setting up inside of your body. So we have these already built in. Our internal innate defense system major is fever, and then chemical signals, and then inflammation. So the first on the scene, the phagocytes, they recognize it. Their name literally means to eat. So it eats the first one on the scene. It takes care of the damage. Then the neutrophils come in. There are much more of them. They're a type of white blood cell, and they find the pathogen, and then they create almost like pus around it. So they kind of form a barrier around it. And then the macrophages, which means big eater, actually goes in and cleans up all that stuff. So we have a free type and a fixed type. You don't need to know that. And then we have natural killer cells. Those natural killer cells, they kill your own cells if they're infected with a virus or they have become cancerous. So your body has those mechanisms built in. Problem is that we don't eat the foods, we don't get enough rest, we don't get enough exercise, and our body can't do what it's designed to do. So the reason why I teach these classes is I know this stuff. And I know you know this stuff, but I get all this. I have patients coming in still after all these years, and they saw something on, Google, or they saw something on Oprah or the doctors, or, their neighbor told them. I want you to have the truth. So this is why I take the time to tell you these things. So you have a whole different thing. So you have kind of cells that will actually go and grab onto something, and then they grab onto it, and then they have a programmed cell death. So whatever they grabbed, it dies with them, which is apoptosis. You're not going to be tested on this, I promise. The other thing is our gut bacteria, and I was kind of talking about that earlier. Our large intestine is our biggest immune system. We have 75% of our gut is gut-assisted lymph tissue inside of our large intestine. And they have the biggest bearing not only on our immune system, but our longevity. And so there are single cell bacteria. We have good guys and we have bad guys. There are trillions of them. And the gut bacteria is important for digesting your food, for releasing vitamins and minerals and hormones into our system, to manage the proteins and the nutrients. But they're all differentiated by all their different genes. So we have a whole bunch of them, more than you would even count. But I will tell you that sugar will destroy all that. So we have all different kind of gut bacteria, some that can cause inflammation, some that can combat inflammation, some lead to diseases of aging like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia. So the neurobiology of aging, the abundance of some of the bacteria then is what causes the cognitive impairment as we age. We don't want that. So starving bad bacteria is avoiding substances they like. And the favorite thing they like to eat is sugar. So the key to longevity is feed the good bacteria and starve the bad bacteria. Consume food sources with prebiotics to feed the good guys, fibrous root vegetables, mushrooms. We use prosymbiotic. Prosymbiotic is a pre and probiotic. I hear a lot of my patients saying, yeah, I'm taking a probiotic. That's great. But that means you're putting the good guys in. You're not feeding them, so they die. So you have to put more good guys in, and you have to keep putting those good guys in because you're not feeding them. You're not taking care of them and maintaining them, and they keep dying. So with prosymbiotic, it's a prebiotic and a probiotic. So we put the probiotic in and we give them food and we feed them and we build that colony so we have a really robust gut flora. And then you don't have to take it as much. Eating foods like kimchi and sauerkraut, and those things help to propagate that. Foods that are nutrition rich and those fibrous root vegetables also help to kind of aid in that. But it's really a key for this time is for our good intestine bacterial load to be high and our bad bacteria to be very, very low. So let's talk about sugar for a second here. You know, my favorite little things I like to put up here. So the sugar time for the kids, summertime, you know, they all want the fun stuff, but look at the sugar in some of these things. That's for a small part. And you know how kids are. Remember how you were a kid. I mean, 1 was good, but 5 was better. In our household, we were allowed to have 3. And I still go for 3. I may go back for 3 more, but 3. And if you're an adult, big kids, look what I got for you. So if you want those pineapple Prosecco punch, it's 17 grams of sugar. Those watermelon margaritas, 17.9 grams of sugar. And that strawberry coconut cocktail is 13 grams of sugar. So of course, I calculated how many of each you have to do. If you're going to drink 2 margaritas, you have to do 50 minutes of walking or 20 minutes of running or 8 minutes of metabolic training or 13 minutes of burpees. If you decide to drink 4 of those, 1 hour to 15 minutes of walking or 35 minutes of running, 17 minutes of metabolic training, or 19 minutes of burpees. And if you were going to go all out and drink the whole pitcher, then that's 4 hours of walking, 1 hour, 20 minutes of running, 15 to 20 minutes of metabolic training, and 61 minutes of burpees. Your choice. So keep those things in mind. So I always like to bring this in because, and the foods of the holiday, because I think that's important. I mean, I want you to be able to have them, but I want you to realize what's in them. So all these pictures down below here, the third of a burger, the third of the veggie burger, the 2/3 of the chicken, that's what 100 calories looks like. If you had the burger without the bun, you could have a whole burger. If you had it with lettuce and just a tomato. Same thing with the veggie burger. It's the bread that kind of stomps that down there. The grilled chicken, really good, but the barbecue sauce probably has a lot of sugar. So if you look to the right, you see the carrots versus the potato chips. You see the grapes versus the honey bun, the apple versus the candy bar, melons versus the muffin. These are all 100-calorie portions. So you can have a lot more of the foods that are fiber rich and nutrition dense and fiber rich foods. So this guy, his birthday, this is what you celebrated his birthday. So you can see here what 100 calories looks like. So and you could have a pound of grilled asparagus. That's not so bad, but you can have a half of a piece of a s'more. You can have 2 cups of watermelon chunks. So, I mean, you can see that there's a nice variety of things you can have choices of eating. I'm not saying you can't have these foods, but for the next 10 days, I don't want you to have those foods. I want you to make the choice to have the right foods. So I want you to drink plenty of water. Remember, the goal is half your body weight in ounces. I weigh 130s, that's 65 ounces. Half of 130 is 65. So that'd be 65 ounces a day. And think about it. If you put, like in my shake, I put, some like almond milk, and then I put the powder, and then I put a lot of ice in and shake it up. And as the ice melts, it gets water. So I'm getting water from that. You're getting water from your vegetables. So keep that in mind as well. So you don't necessarily have to drink all of that water. You can be consuming it in other ways. Exercise. I mean, I don't know how I can tell you this, but I'm going to tell you it anyway. At least minimum 30 minutes a day, and do something every day. Because if you guys are doing 2 and 3 days a week and you miss a day, that's only 2 days a week. And if you're only doing 2 days a week and you miss a day, that's only 1 day a week. It's not enough. Think about how many hours you sit, or how many hours, even in the evening, you sit and watch TV. So we need to get up and move 10,000 steps a day. And, if you're looking at your monitor now and you only have 6,000 steps, you better get busy. You got some work to do. But incorporate some meditation or some deep breathing. You can get, I use an app on my phone called Insight Timer, and it's a free app, and it has some guided meditation. You can have music, or just somebody talks you through the meditation. Maybe take a yoga class, try something different, or take a walk outside with your friend or your pet, or your friend's pet. So here's your plan of action. So I want you to get rid of the sugary liquids in your house. Read those labels, because you will be shocked. ketchup and pickle relish and all your dressings have sugar in them, high fructose corn syrup to make it even worse. So get those out of there. Like I said, give them to somebody you don't like, or just pour them on weeds and throw the bottle away, or recycle the bottle. Clean out all that high fructose corn syrup in your refrigerator door, and I guarantee you it's there. In the beginning, I was like, my refrigerator is golden, and then I went in, I'm like, who would think that they would put, high fructose corn syrup in pickles? So it's there. You can find it. Provide carbohydrates which are fiber dense and nutrition rich. Make sure that you wait 20 minutes before a second portion. Our hypothalamus is kind of our air traffic controller, and it's also our appetite controller. And if you eat so fast, that hypothalamus doesn't have time to register that you even ate. So it may still tell you, hey, you're still hungry. But if you give it a little bit of time, it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting all that nice chemical overload from the intestines and the stomach. I'm getting the message now. Okay, I'm good. I don't need a second helping. So before you do your second helping, just put your fork down and rest. We try to, when we have our dinner at night, we sit down, we take a bite, we put our forks down, we talk about the day, we have a conversation. We're not, washing our food down with water or a drink. Watch at a restaurant. It's just uncanny. People are looking at their cell phones and just shoveling food in and then washing it down with something to drink. Start moving. Your goal is 10,000 steps a day. Or I'm going to you're going to get on a bicycle and have to follow me around for a day. You won't want to, well, Barry, you could do that, Barry. And buy local and organic. We are so lucky in Florida. When I teach some of these classes, I'm teaching like the whole United States. And I had somebody say, well, we're up north and it's winter here. We can't get that stuff like you get. I mean, we have a living tower here, and we can grow our own vegetables, and there's all the kind of fresh markets that we can get our foods at. So utilize that. I like to buy organic and local. For instance, we use a local CSA here, Noble Roots Farm. And when we get the produce from them, the lettuces last almost 2 weeks because we got them fresh from the farm, picked that morning. Most of the lettuce you pick up at the store in the bag of salad lasts maybe 2 days because we don't know how long it's been shipped and where it's been shipped from and how long it's been on some type of a truck getting to where we need it. So support your local farmers, or get a tower, a living tower, and have fun with that. So this is kind of your new food pyramid. I'm letting you have coffee as long as it's organic whipping cream. I want you to have that full fat because that's going to keep you satiated. You're not going to eat it. It's not going to raise your cholesterol because sugar makes you fat, not the fat. Okay, remember that. So tons of vegetables, a little bit of protein, tiny bit of fruit. I kind of limit, if we have fruit, it's berries, or like I'm a big fan of Mount Rainier cherries, and I still have a ton of frozen King's blueberries. If you didn't get those next year, it's a must. It's a must do. All right, so the challenge is on. It's only for 10 days. I know you can do that. So next Monday, same time, same station, I believe that's the 19th of July, we will have this class, and we're going to do another little spot on of what's going on, and then we'll finish on Thursday. So we will see you next week, same time, same station.